So you needed a car to go somewhere where you're not getting paid, but now you have a $963 a month car expense when you're not getting paid for this job.
My name is Hycien again. I am calling in from Pennsylvania. I live in Italy, and I am 29 years of age.
And what do you do for a living?
I am an actor. Acting is actually my passion. So before this, it has always been this. But I don't do this. In terms of paying my bills yet, because I am still trying to get myself into the acting business. But I am a Scrum Master. It is kind of a project manager. Yeah.
And how much do you make a year doing that?
I was making 110K annually.
Okay. And are you still employed or still working that job, or what's happening there?
No, I got laid off since February. So ever since I've been unemployed. But yeah, with unemployment benefits, I'm trying to, get myself together.
Okay. And your unemployment, how much longer do you have on that?
I just have probably like 4,000. So I receive 2,000 monthly. So I feel 2 months to go.
You have 2 months to go? Okay, so you're receiving $2,000 a month right now, and you'll get that for the next 2 months, and then we got to have a job before then, otherwise no income coming in.
Yeah, so I am really building my acting portfolio as much as I can, because I would say the disappointment I had came as a form of a blessing, because I have gotten a lot of gig in acting, even if it's on paid gig, but I am really I've met a lot of people, networking and all of that, so.
How much time are you putting into finding jobs to find another full-time job versus acting?
How much time will find the thing that I can't really quantify that, because
how many jobs are you applying to a week right now? Not acting, full-time.
Oh, not acting. Probably like 12 or less.
12
or less, yeah.
Or less. How are you going to find a full-time job if you're only applying to 12 a week right now? Because it's going to be, impossible to go from acting to making $110,000 a year acting in the next 2 months. And so if I was you, you've been unemployed since February. Have you only really applied to 12 jobs a week since February?
I've been unemployed since February. Yes, correct. So what's your question?
And so have you only been applying to up to 12 jobs a week since February?
No. As time goes by, the number reduces because it gets discouraging. I am in an IT field, so now not just myself, a lot of people I know have lost their job, or they are even unable to even get an interview. So when we sit and you talk with your colleagues and it's everyone, say the same story, it just really gets discouraging. So that's why before I could apply for like 100 or, around that number for a day, because with LinkedIn, you can do easy apply. You just, click a button and it's gone. So, but now I barely even go to LinkedIn to even apply. The number has actually really reduced. That's why I said 12.
So we'll talk more about, I guess, jobs in a minute, some strategies you can do to apply for jobs, but that's definitely something you gotta get after with, especially with 8 weeks. You got a ticking clock right now. And to fill that income with acting is going to be a lot harder than probably finding a full-time job. But we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. So how long have you been a Scrum Master for prior to getting laid off?
Professionally, 2 years. 2 to 3 years.
2 years? Okay. And what did you do prior to that?
Prior to that, I was working in the warehouse.
Okay. And how much were you making when you were working in the warehouse?
Hourly, probably like $18.
Oh, see, you had a nice pay jump then if you're making $18 up to $110,000 a year. What?
Oh, yeah.
What caused that transition?
Specialization. I give all the glory to my elder brother, a cousin of mine. He is actually in the IT field. So he called me over to Pennsylvania because before I was in Maryland, and he was like, come over and learn what I do, and let's see if you can get a job. So I came, and then the trade. I learned Scrum and I got certified. Then he helped me with for a job. That was just a transition.
How would you kind of define your current financial situation on a scale of 1 to 10?
A scale of 1 to 10, 4.
4? Okay. I hope we see some savings and stuff then if we're putting ourselves at 4 being unemployed, and I know we have some debt on the table too. So I guess let's dive into that then. So current debts. I see we have a credit card, $9,000 worth of credit cards right now.
Or maybe more than, because
it's more than that now?
Yeah, it should be.
What is it now?
Probably 11.
11,000. Okay. And how long has that been going on for? How long have you been balancing your credit card?
Probably like 9 months.
9 months. This started while you're making $110,000 a year.
Yeah, but I was always paying them off when I had the money. So I was using the card, paid off not the entire amount, but as I as time goes by, I got to be eligible for, more credit cards. I increased my expenditure. I think, yeah. So,
You said you increase your expenditure with acting on credit cards?
yeah, applying for credit cards. And once I get them, I use them on knowing that I'm going to pay because I had a job.
So let me clarify. So when you had a job, you're paying off every single month and you weren't carrying a balance, you weren't paying any interest. Or were you paying interest before?
I wouldn't really, I don't really know if I was paying interest or not, but I'm not really good with credit card. But all I know is once you use the credit card and whatever balance that is left, you have to pay it off, right? So I'll pay them up, but I don't know if I was paying the full amount, but I will always pay them up just because I don't want it to affect my credit score. Because I was always getting my credit. Yeah.
So it sounds like we might not have been using the credit card appropriately before, but right now, on this one, is it all on this one card? Okay, so it's not on this Discover card. You have other credit cards too?
Yes, I have Discovery. I do have Capital One. I had 300 and they just gave me 2,000, which is. I have what else do I have? I have Go to Bank. I have First Premier.
Okay, so are all of them? I'm assuming I see this Discover one has a 0% APR until December. The other ones, are they accruing interest right now?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. These are not good things that you don't know the answers to, but we'll talk more about that. But if you're not paying credit cards off for every single month, if you don't know what your interest you're paying, if you are carrying a balance, and you said yourself you're not really good with credit cards, that's a sign for, hey, let's not use credit cards because credit cards will put you very far behind. It's very difficult to get out of debt with credit cards, and it's a thing you can do when you're out of debt, when you can stick to a budget and you can pay it off every single month. But the issue is when you use a credit card, when you don't have a job, when you don't track your spending, if you don't know what's happening, then puts you in a deep point. You're spending thousands of dollars a year on interest. Right now if you had $11,000 balance and if the entire thing was at a 30% interest rate, you're paying $3,000 a year in interest. That's $300 something a month, which is, instead of going in staying in your pocket, you're paying that to a bank, because 30% interest on $11,000 is $3,300 a year. And so you might be making $400, $500 minimum payments, but $300 of that is going towards interest to the bank, which is not pretty. So credit cards, first thing, we need to figure that out. And then the second loan I see is a car loan for $22,000 with a $563 a month car payment. What kind of car are you driving with that?
Toyota Hybrid.
It's a hybrid? Okay.
Toyota Camry. Yeah, Toyota Camry.
Camry. And what year is it? How old is it?
2020.
Do you know the interest rate on your car loan?
No, I don't know if it's 29%, but I have to pay that 500 for up to five years.
Okay. Let me see if I can do a quick. How much was the car loan originally?
Originally, the car was for $17,000.
How do you have a $22,000 loan if you paid $17,000 for it?
Right. So.
Did you roll negative equity into it?
No. So what happened was the dealer said I have to get some insurance for it or something. So altogether, it came out in 2,000 for him to get the loan from the bank.
Came out at 22,000?
Yeah, it came out for the 2,000 for him to get the loan from the bank.
And when did you buy this car?
The car just made a mortgage, so that should be last month on the 25th.
Wait, you bought this car last month?
Yeah, it's not wrong. It's probably wrong.
You bought this 30 days ago?
Yeah.
Why did you think it was a good idea to go finance a car when you're unemployed right now?
Because of my acting career, I needed to go to auditions. I had rehearsals, so I was always paying Uber, and so it came a time where I just felt like, I need a car to do this at this point in time, because even other than that, I intend to use a car and do Uber. So that was the reasons for doing all of this. So it was strategic.
It doesn't sound strategic, because between car insurance, your car payment, and gas, you're paying $963 a month. And you don't have a job, and you got 2 months till your unemployment runs out, and you can't even pay your bills right now. So buying a $900 a month liability does not sound like it's a strategic move right now, because you bought it a month ago and you're still not Ubering or DoorDashing with it. You can't tell me you bought it strategically for Uber and DoorDash when it's been 30 days and you haven't done that.
The reason was strategic. The deal I got was not the best deal. The intention behind it was based on strategy. I thought of it, and I because before I got the car, I was always taking Uber wherever I want to go to, even if I want to go to Milford.
How much were you spending a month on Uber?
Probably I don't go out often, but if I go out, it was Uber. So probably I would say probably 400 if I'm going to Maryland, because to go to Maryland.
Okay, so you're spending $400 a month on Uber, and you just upgraded $963 in minimum payments for a car. So that doesn't sound strategic when you had $400 a month in Uber payments. Now you got $963 worth of car payments. And you have to worry about maintenance and stuff breaking, washing it, all that jazz.
Yeah, so that's why I went in for a new car because the previous car I had an explosion. I was in the car and the car caught fire. So, but I had that bad experience. I didn't want it anymore. So I knew that if I'm supposed to get a car, based on what family members have advised me, was I should get a new car and finance it so that I can, be at peace knowing that I'm driving something which is going to last for me for a while. So that was the reason why I took this route. And like I said, it was strategic. It's just the deal I got.
I think you and I have different viewpoints on what peace looks like, because having a $563 a month car payment does not sound like peace to me at all. And you've got a car loan for $22,000 at looking at it, probably at 14% interest or even more than that. Actually, it's probably like 18% interest, I think. If you at 563, it's probably in the 17 to 18% interest rate is the car loan. So having that, that car, that loan, $22,000, is actually going to cost you probably $34,000 over the course of the loan. So you didn't buy a $22,000 car. You just bought a you bought a $17,000 car, you said it was, it's going to cost you $34,000 over the course of the loan. That doesn't sound strategic to me.
Exactly. I didn't do all that. I didn't do the math. I didn't.
I wish you had come on this show 2 months ago versus finding me 30 days after you bought this dang car.
Yeah, I think that was just because the reason why I just decided ASAP I needed a car was then I just got casted in a play called Annie. And so it was like 40 minutes away from me. So we always do have auditions. And I just got up one day and I just felt like since, I'll be casted on this show.
And how much is that show paying you?
No, that's really
Couple $100, couple thousand?
Great. It's great. That's great.
Okay, so you needed a car to go somewhere where you're not getting paid, but now you have a $963 a month car expense that you have to deal with when you're not getting paid for this job. So you're trying to justify that car with a job that doesn't pay any money.
No, I am.
Hey, when the car comes to get repoed and you say, "Hey, I needed it for my free job," is that going to pay the bill?
No, it's not going to pay the bill. But
so how do we justify this?
No, I am saying the reasons why I decided to go get a car ASAP was because I got casted. But when I went there to get a car, I did the math, the little math I know, and it came out 19,000. So I knew I was going to get a car for 19,000.
But even then, a $19,000 car when you're unemployed, why not go get a $10,000 car or a $5,000 car?
I didn't want to take the risk. Like I said, my previous car I had caught on fire. It was a used car. So how
long did it last you before it caught on fire?
Well, I bought it since 2019 and
okay, so it lasted 4 years without catching on fire?
19, 44.
And you had insurance that I'm assuming paid for when it blew up?
No, I had liability.
Okay, so you didn't have insurance that covered it when it broke down.
People, I didn't have.
Okay, so if you bought a $5,000 or $10,000 car and you had it for the next 4 years while you went to find a new job or whatever, you have a lower monthly payment, which I don't even like financing cars at all, and you get insurance, then worst case scenario, they write you a check for what the car is worth and you're okay. But instead, you're putting yourself in a situation where you now are guaranteed a $563 a month car payment plus $300 in car insurance plus probably $100+ worth of gas. That's not setting yourself up for success. And we obviously can't really change. I mean, your options at this point are try to sell the car, but you're not going to get $22,000 for it, or try to pay it off as quickly as possible. But you're kind of stuck in this, which is unfortunate. But I'm just trying to point out, like, there's not trying to justify a $22,000 car purchase. There's always cheaper options. I can promise you go through your neighborhood, you pass by, majority of the cars you pass by are worth less than $22,000. And those people have jobs and are employed, and they're still struggling to pay their bills. Right now, we're unemployed, so going to get a $563 a month car payment is bonkers, in my opinion. Do you agree or do you disagree?
Yes,
I'm assuming none of your family members spoke to you like this or talked to you about these numbers before they convinced you to go finance a new car.
I think they were happy.
Do you get more stressful thinking about a car potentially breaking down 10 years down the line or 5 years down the line, or more stressed that, hey, you got $563 a month that you're paying for the next 5 years, guaranteed, plus car insurance, plus gas?
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but the truth is, if the car can, get me the amount that I will be needing every month, I think I will probably not see the stress bill, paying those bills off. Yeah, but the guarantee of the car is the fact that it's not really guaranteed, but I think it's guaranteed in the sense that it's not going to get bad anytime soon. And that itself is like we having a secure job. So that's just how I kind of look at it.
I agree, but I have a 16-year-old car in my driveway with almost 200,000 miles on it. I don't drive it as much as I used to, but I mean, I used to put 20,000 miles a year on that thing, and it still works from point A to point B. I don't take it on long road trips, but it drives around the city perfectly fine. And my point is, you don't need a 23-year-old car, 4-year-old car for $20,000 to get from point A to point B. Would I suggest driving my truck across the entire United States? No, I did that a couple years ago, and it broke down a couple times along the way, and I get a new alternator, which guess what? That was a $300 or $400 fix, and I was back on the road.
Well, what car are you driving?
I have a Chevy Silverado.
Okay. When I was getting my car, I was told by my office that I should get a Toyota. That Toyota lasts, and as much as they say it lasts, it's also comes with.
I would agree. Toyotas are great cars, but if I go on, I'm just going to go on cars.com and see, let's find a Toyota Camry within 200 miles of me that is a Toyota Camry, and we're going to do the max price of $15,000. There is a 2016 for $17,000, 2012 for $14,000, 2009 for $8,000.
Yeah, but now you see the year of those cars. Mine is still 20.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is you don't need a 2020 car.
Yeah, but I had to do Uber. I said I was going to do Uber with it. I know Uber has.
But it's been 30 days and you haven't done Uber.
No, I'm sitting on unemployment, so I won't.
So because you're on unemployment, you're just not going to do Uber until you're off unemployment.
No, I don't want to risk doing Uber and then something happen along the line. I lost my unemployment. I need to pay my house off. So I need to pay my house off. I need to understand the acting industry. So I think with the car, I have a lot of time on my schedule to, maneuver around and get my, get networking. That's what I'm doing.
My point was, I guess you don't need that expensive a car. I guess you don't want to do Uber because then you don't want to lose unemployment, which just puts you in a horrible spot because you don't want to work because you will lose unemployment.
You don't want to work? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you don't want to work because you don't want to lose your unemployment. You don't want to go Uber because you'll lose unemployment. You don't want to go work for $2,000 a month when you can.
No, I am looking for jobs. I want to work.
You said you're applying to under 12 jobs a week.
Yeah, it get discouraging. Is that not what life is?
I don't disagree. It can get discouraging. But if other people in your industry are having the same issue, if other people in this country are having the same issue applying to jobs, if you apply to less jobs, it's not going to help you. It's not going to get you further along.
No, but we just limit it just to IT, just to Scrum. That's what you said, right? Because if you're asking me about acting, the amount of job I have to
I don't care about acting right now. Acting for you to pay the bills of acting, you got to go land a job in Hollywood, and that's very difficult to do.
I have a portfolio.
What is your highest paying acting job that you've ever gotten over the last 12 months? $300. So you have to make the equivalent salary that you're making before. You have to get 30 jobs at $300 a month to even come close to making $100,000. So you have to have one job a day for $300 every day of the month to come close to making the job you had before.
Yeah.
So my point is, it is difficult to do that. I am all for having the goals and aspirations of becoming an actor, but you need to be putting a full-time job first and foremost before an acting job, because acting job is not going to pay the bills. You have 2 months of runway left, not even runway because we're racking up credit card bills. You need to put in that job first. I don't care if you're going to work at the grocery store. I don't care if you're going to work at Walmart or Amazon or DoorDash or whatever, but you got to get a job that can pay you more than $2,000 a month so you can survive. Otherwise, you're going to be 2 months from now, you're going to have unemployment. You're not going to have that, and you're just going to put yourself so far behind, it's going to be difficult to get out. Anyway, that's enough about the debts. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but total debt's $33,369. Current value of the car, you put $20,000, but you said it was $17,000. So what is the current value of the car?
What's the current value of the car?
I guess you bought the car a month ago, and you said it was about $17,000?
Yeah.
Okay. $17,000 in retirement accounts. You said you have about $15,000 in retirement accounts.
Right.
Is that in a 401k? Is that in a brokerage account? What is that kind of account is that in?
401k.
401k? Okay. Is that what's in your Robinhood? What's in your Robinhood Acorns account then?
Robinhood, I had 4,000. I just took out 2,000 because I ate some beer.
Okay, so you had 4,000 in Robinhood, now you got 2,000.
Yeah, now I have like probably 2,000. I just took out 2,000 related.
Okay. And then what is the balance of your bank account right now?
Probably like $13.
Because the statement ending, I guess you took out this money last month because to end June 6th, you had negative $688 in your bank account. That doesn't sound very funny to me.
Yeah, I know I'm broke, but that's what I'm here.
You're taking the steps, but I mean, to end in June 6th with negative $688 and you wouldn't finance the vehicle after this is just absurd. You have paid $600 in overdraft fees in the last year on this bank account. Did you know that?
How much have I paid for overdraft?
You've paid $600 in overdraft and other fees for this bank account over the last year.
No, I didn't know.
You didn't know that, and you don't know how much you paid in interest. So between the interest on your car loan, the interest on your credit cards, and interest and fees on this bank account, I mean, you're paying thousands of dollars towards these banks and financial institutions for using their platforms and products or services, whatever you want to call it, which is not good. Okay, so we got some work to do because between this, we have $34,500 in total assets, $33,000, $369 worth of debt, and your net worth is $1,148. So you're in the green, barely, but we've got a lot of work to do because we got $11,000 worth of credit card debt, we've got $22,000 worth of car loan, and $18 in our bank account right now. What does that number say to you right now?
It cries for help.
Cries for help? And so what have you been doing the last couple of weeks to change this situation?
As much as I think I'm really good with management, but I do have a lot of responsibility that takes the money away still. I've just been applying. I just applied. I just applied, but I've just been applying really. So I don't know. I just keep my options open and be a lot more positive. Yeah, but now it's Ranche Scholar, right? Children are going back to school, so still money will still be going out until after this period.
What about school? Sorry.
No, I said school will be resuming, right? So children will be going back to school, and
You're going back to school?
Children will be going back to school. I have a lot of responsibility. So
What are you going to school for?
no, I said children.
Oh, you have children.
Yes.
Okay, how many kids do you have?
I have like about 6 kids I do send to school, but they are in Africa, so it's relatively say cheap, to an extent. So yeah. So
Are they biological children?
I have one biological child. He's still small. He's just 1 year old. But the others are my sister, who is taking care of all of them, including my brother that passed away. He was like a father figure to me, to all our siblings. So, but he's not alive, and he had 4 kids he left. So, like, I think yeah. So pretty much
Got some responsibility, which I proud of you for doing that, helping your brother's family and helping them out there. But what we need to do too is figure out, okay, how can you get a job to be able to afford and sustain that? Because you want to help your family, you want to help be there for them, support them. But we also have to do it from a place of strength and do it. Okay, if you're responsible for these kids, you need to be hustling your butt off to find a new full-time job so you can afford to pay for these kids to go to school. Because the last thing I want you to do is I want you to help us pay for these kids to go to school. But if that means you're going to be racking up on a credit card, if that means you're going to be putting your rent on a credit card or whatever, then that's going to be destroying your financial future, which is going to limit your ability to help more people in the future, whether it's more kids that you have in life, whether it's those kids, whatever it is. But if you're not taking care of yourself first and foremost and finding that full-time job, it's going to be a lot more stressful for you trying to help support other people too. So that's why you really have to be focusing on that. Because I mean, this your entire situation right now, like it scares me for you. Like I want to figure out you seem like a good person, want to help other people. We really have to figure out how can we figure out a plan for you to dig yourself out of this hole and be able to help people from a place of strength versus right now you're in a not a place of strength. You have a lot of bills, you don't have income coming in besides unemployment, and we got a lot of things to work on. And the first thing is jobs.
That's for.
I know you spend a lot of time on acting, and I'm all for passion projects. I'm all for doing that. I mean, this is a passion project for me. I just enjoy personal finance. I like having conversations with people about finances. But reality is this doesn't pay any bills. And do it on the nights and weekends. Apply for those at night in your free time after you've already hit goals and quotas that you're trying to hit yourself for the full-time job. What you need to be doing is like setting up coffee meetings with people in your networking in your space, people in the industry that you want to meet with. I have a friend and she probably had 2 to 3 coffee meetings every single week with people she's in the marketing world, with different creative directors, different people in the marketing world at marketing agencies, whether they're locally in Atlanta here, or she even went to different cities, drove different cities and met people that were working at companies that she wanted to work for, whether they had job postings or not. Going to meet and have conversations with people and network yourself is ways to get in the doors of those companies. And if you're good, they like you, they'll find a spot for you to work there. And if they're applying or they do have jobs that that you've applied to, great. Go find the HR people, go find other people within the company that you can still meet with, have coffee, and network with to help them put a good word in for you. But you need to be doing that. You need to be finding recruiters that you can work with in your space as well, because recruiters get paid when you get a job. And that means it's a win-win for both of you. You get a job, they get paid. Find recruiting companies that you can work with, most of them, reach out to those as well. And you need to be just hustling and applying to more jobs. I mean, you said under 12 a week right now, it needs to be over 50. Because with AI, with the amount of jobs, with AI just scanning resumes, with the amount of people, like you said, in your industry that are looking for jobs, it's competitive out there. It's not easy. And right now, it's probably a shots on goal thing. I mean, I know people that it took months, a year to find jobs, and that means you just got to apply to more jobs, because I understand it's discouraging, and you can't just go on LinkedIn and apply to the top job on LinkedIn, because guess what? If you're seeing that job, probably everyone in the sun is doing that. You got to go in the weeds on different platforms, whether you look on different job boards, you look at startups, you look at local companies that might just be on weird job boards. Find the places people aren't looking, and that'll give you much more success. If you go and apply to the top job on LinkedIn every single day, guess what? You and 100 million other people saw the exact same job posting.
Like, talking about networking, there was one audition I went to, it was cool. And when the lady asked me, the teacher, she was like, "So what do you do now?" I'm like, "I'm unemployed." And then she was like, "Oh, she can help me get a job." She had her brother who works in construction. And I was like, and I actually said, "No, I'm looking for something else to do with that. I can always blend in marketing. I don't want something that's going to take my..." So hearing what you said, I'm not realizing how much opportunity, how supportive people are out there.
Yeah, people are supporting. That's why if you find people in your industry, then you can have conversations, speak the same language, and they can help open up doors. Their company might not be hiring, but they might know people that are looking. And you just have to get in the door, find those people that can help you and point you in the right direction. And for my friend that did it, it worked wonders for her. She met a lot of people, made a lot of connections, and found a job doing that. So you never know the right person you're going to talk to, but just cold inbounding jobs on LinkedIn, it's going to be a long year for you. But if you find and go the extra mile, I mean, there's millions of people going the exact same route. Just apply, easy apply. But there's not as many people that are going the extra step and going above and beyond, finding recruiters, finding HR people, finding just people at companies that they have some mutual connection with, and having coffee, meeting them in the space, and just having those conversations. So that's something you really, really need to do. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So when I email you in 2 weeks and see, hey, how's the job hunting going? You're going to have multiple coffee meetings with people already. You're going to have applied to 50 plus jobs a week. And you're going to be talking to recruiters.
I pray I tell you I had landed a high pay acting job.
No, stop. Okay. Acting needs to go on the back burner. I want you to, if you've applied to 50 plus jobs a week, if you've had 3 plus coffee meetings a week, if you've met a ton of people, great. Go apply for acting stuff. But how's acting going to pay your bills when the max you've ever made is $300 a gig?
But yeah, that's why I said I pray I tell you I've gotten a high acting thing. So you watch it, you.
What is the likelihood you're going to find an acting gig every single month that pays you $5,000 a month?
On a scale of 100, probably 5 or 10.
Okay, so why have that as, why try to run a Hail Mary when right now what you can do is you can be more strategic and focus solely on the full-time jobs, and maybe it's 80% of the time on the full-time gigs and 20% of the time on acting stuff. But if you're sitting here saying, I hope I get a high-paying acting job in the next 2 weeks or month or whatever, 2 months, you just said to yourself, you have a 5% chance of success on that. So why not spend 20% of your time on that and then 80% of the time on something that can actually pay the bills? I'm not saying give up on acting. I'm just saying acting is not going to pay the bills right now. It is so incredibly hard to make a living as an actor in this world.
If we had this conversation when I was like you, the 110K already, you won't have the same this amount of smile on my face. Things like this, I guarantee you. I just left the IT world, and now I am so much at peace doing this, even without the money. So I pray it gives me the money, because this is what I really do. Love doing it. I can do anything. I am really hardworking. Anyone I have worked with can attest to this. But just that I am just trying to make the maximum use of this opportunity. Like, I'm going out 2 weeks to get a full-time paid job. because without me paying my rent, I would be homeless. So
what's the likelihood you can do that with acting?
for some reason, the 300, like I mentioned, it was really surprising. I never really thought of it because I've been doing this almost my whole life, but I've never taken this serious until now. And now I see, it seems like there is a niche in it. So I am like, that means
Why can't you do both?
do both.
Yeah, why can't you get a full-time job and you can do acting on the side on nights and weekends?
And for a full-time job when you're receiving unemployment. Can't work when you're receiving unemployment, right? It's not like I've been offered it.
Yeah, but when you get a full-time job, you stop getting unemployment, but you get a full-time paycheck.
I haven't gotten that yet.
That's what I'm saying, but you're not focused on that. You're focused on the acting, which isn't going to pay the bills.
I've been applying. It's the you could be 12.
Have you been networking? Have you been doing coffee meetings? Have you been speaking with recruiters?
No.
Okay. So you've been doing what everyone else is doing on LinkedIn, hitting the easy apply button, which makes your chances of success on that is slim to none. And the same thing with acting. I understand you're passionate about it. I understand that's what you want to do, but you got to take baby steps. I've had friends that said, hey, I want to quit my full-time job to go all in on a business that is generating $0. I'm like, why would you do that? Why not build up to a base and then you can do that? So with your acting, for example, get a full-time job. And then if your acting surpasses your annual income as your full-time job, then that's probably a good inflection point to take the leap. But if you're not making any money on acting, you can't say, hey, I'm going to go and focus full-time on acting when you haven't proven it out.
I just wish I didn't have views. So I couldn't keep doing this without having so much radio. That's why I say what I tell myself every day is I wish I didn't have bills so I can keep doing this without so much pressure.
Don't we all wish we didn't have bills, but that's not the reality of the world.
Okay, I wish I had a house which is paid off.
You still have bills. You still have property tax. You still have insurance. You still have house maintenance. You still have yard service. You have pest control.
Yeah, but so long as you have a roof over your head, you can, whatever other bills, is something that you can always.
My house, if you account for maintenance, if you account for property tax, you account for insurance, utilities, whatever, I'm still paying $1,200 to $1,400 a month in that alone for just property taxes, insurance, HOA fees, yard care, utilities, Wi-Fi. I mean, it's still $1,400, $1,200 to $1,400 a month in expenses. So whether you have a house or not, you still have bills that you have to pay, and you can't just not pay them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to heat a house and run water for a house is more expensive than an apartment. You don't have a lawn in an apartment. You don't have as many take care of bugs and pests. And I had a mouse in my garage last week, and I went to Home Depot and I got them myself. But like, those are things that you don't have when you're paying rent that you have to take care of. You call someone, and those are expenses that add up quickly. I had a water line burst in my house, and it cost me $3,000 or $4,000. And so you still have bills when you have a house, and it's not all sunshine and rainbows. My point is, whether you have a house, whether you have an apartment, you're still going to have bills, and that's the reality of the world that you live in. Unless you are a trust fund baby that gets $1 million a year to go spend on Monopoly, it's not happening.
I pray every day for that.
Okay. So sounds like you're fighting me on the job, or you want to pursue acting, but we'll talk more about that later. But let's talk about you. Let's talk about your childhood. Where are you from, and what was your childhood like growing up?
So originally I'm from Cameroon. It's in Africa, Central Africa. We are bilingual. We speak English and French. The English is beautiful, because the people majority speak French, while few of us will speak English. It depends where you're from. I come from a monogamous home. We are 7 of us. My father passed away when I was still small. So the only experience I've had in terms of, father figure in my life has been my elder brother who passed away 3 years ago. Yeah. So how I graduate. I went to school. I went to my primary school. It was in Slovia. My secondary school, GS Mutene. Then I went to the university where I studied law. Then the year I was graduating was the same year I won the DV lottery. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No.
So the DV lottery, it is an American lottery whereby if you win, America issue you a visa to come here, and they grant you and they give you a green card where you should have a permanent resident. So I will have a permanent resident in America. So that was the year I won with the lottery. The year I was.
And so what year was that you came to America?
I won in 2022. That was the year I got my degree, but then I came the next year.
Okay. And so living in Cameroon and then coming to America, did you ever have conversations with your mother or any of your other family members about money growing up, or once you came to America?
No, once I came here, no. But in terms of money, my mom, she has she has always been the pillar because she has always been working, and she brought us up in such a way that we are all chefs, all the guys. We had like 6 boys, 1 girl. So we all know how to do, how to be good in the kitchen. And my mom, the amount of money she gave us for a week, we all know how to manage it. So she taught us that amount of economics. So my economics is really good in terms of food. But now when it comes to, because America now we expose it to a lot of things. I didn't know about house rent because back home we have our house. My grandma, who I lived with for a very long time, she has her own house. We didn't have tenant. So we when I went to the university, my house, the house I was living, was paid for a whole year. So coming here and then getting exposed to certain bills was not something which I was really familiar with. So my mom didn't know about that to tell me the Lord.
I bet they don't have $563 a month car payments over there.
No, they don't.
Oh.
What was millions back home?
Walk me through your current budgeting process and how you currently manage your money.
I started reading Money Master the Game by Johnny Robin. I don't know if it's right that of it. So I got to realize that a lot of investment, he talked so much about investment, about how to distribute your money. And so it was something which I was trying to implement before I got laid off. Right now, I don't have money to really invest, but I am also trying to really get serious with invest loan to see how to learn that game. Other than that, I have a lot of food which I brought from back home. So in terms of food, I spend which or nothing, and I barely go out. Yeah, I really barely go out because I'm always home. What else do I spend from learning? Outfits. I did a lot of shopping, but very, very, very cheap stores. That's where I shop. Right. Most of the time, yeah.
Okay. So do you track how much money you spend every single month?
No, I don't track.
No. Okay. So that's kind of one recurring thing that I'm looking at, just talking to you and having this conversation, is you don't fully understand what is your interest rate on credit cards, what are you paying in interest, like the different numbers and stuff. And that's one of the things that's kind of complicated about finance, to get small print on statements. But these are things that you need to do to understand. I haven't read Tony Robbins' book before, but I'm sure a lot of the principles, I don't know his full philosophy on money. But like one of the things is talks about know the rules before you get in the game. And I'm looking, I think it's one of his principles, it looks like online. You don't know the rules of credit cards, you don't know the rules of your car loans, and you don't know the rules of those types of things. So if you don't even know that, how are you going to win the game when you don't know the rules? You don't know what you're paying on in fees and interest.
Yeah, well, I know it's just a liability.
So that is something you need to listen to from that. This website I'm looking at it's a quote from Warren Buffett. It says, "Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing." And right now, if I asked you what is your interest rate, what are your car loan interest rate, you don't know what you're doing. And there's risk when it comes to that. You have risk of never paying off the credit cards. You have risk of getting your car repoed. You have risk of a lot of things. And so you need to understand your numbers. You need to understand every single thing inside and out of your finances. And that is kind of a recurring theme of our conversation. And that's what I want to talk about. Like, what are some things that you can do tangibly today to improve your financial situation? And so on that, I want to kind of run through your monthly budget, and then we're going to run through your transactions that you send over as well. So monthly budget, you're bringing in $2,000 a month from unemployment right now. Your rent is $1,500 a month right now. Are you living by yourself?
No, I just gave one of the rooms.
Okay, so you're renting one of the other rooms. And how much are they paying of the $1,500?
$800.
$800. Okay, so you'll have $700 a month in rent. And was that a recent thing over the last couple of weeks?
Oh, how long has it been here as a person here?
Yeah.
After I lost my job, probably like 4 months ago, I fell into the field.
So you took action and said, okay, I need to cut my rent down from $1,500. Because I was going to say, how the heck granted the credit card bill's gone up, but $1,500, you're bringing $2,000 a month. That plus your car loan, you're out of money. Home utilities put $75, car insurance $300, car payment $563, gas $100. So your total auto and transport is $963. So half of your unemployment is gone with just your auto and transport. Your auto and transport, that car costs you more than the roof over your head, which is insane. But and then you put $100 for groceries, which I don't know any grown adult that can live off $100 a month in food.
Yeah, because I do have dry food which could last me for like a year. So all I need are few spices here and there.
Okay, so you're not eating too much then. You're not buying steak, you're not buying much meat at the grocery store or anything.
No, I do get them, but when I get them, it probably is gonna be for a month.
Okay. So total necessities, $1,838. Then you put $100 for subscriptions. What subscriptions do you have right now?
Everywhere.
Everywhere? Cancel them all. Why do you need them right now? You should be applying to jobs, sleeping, exercising, and no subscriptions. Or cancel all of them but one. Like if you got Netflix, Hulu, Peacock, whatever, pick one and only one. Why do you need $100 worth of subscriptions when you have no job right now?
Yeah, each one has its own uniqueness. It's, I think that's...
I don't care about you because I care about you being able to pay your bills and not losing your car or losing your apartment.
Yeah, but I have a lot to though.
Okay, so go pick one of the 7 that you have and only use that one. Or use Netflix for 1 month and then cancel the next month, go to Hulu. And the next month, go to whatever. You can't watch 5 streaming platforms at the same time.
Yeah, this could sound so illegal, but the reason like I'll cancel my Netflix is because, Netflix, you could share your Netflix account, right? So people, that depends on that.
They can get their own Netflix account or, Netflix has cracked down on that. You can't share Netflix stuff anymore, I thought.
Yep. Yeah.
But either way, it doesn't matter. You don't have a job. If people need Netflix, they can do it. Netflix is not a necessity. Netflix is a want. And if Netflix is the one you don't want to cancel the others.
Yeah. So I can cancel it.
Do you agree or disagree with that statement? Or are you just like, I'm going to keep all my stuff? You're not going to cancel them. You're just not going to do it.
No, I can cancel them, but I am still looking at getting the money and not just, taking out things which I like, because there are days I know why I want to watch Hulu, I know why I want to watch this new. I just want to be childish, so.
Okay, well, do Netflix 1 month, Disney the next month, Hulu the next month.
Yeah, that's something that.
And cancel when you're not using them. That way you can get the best of all of it, and you don't need all 3 or 4. You can't watch all 3 at the same time. Eating out, you put $20. Entertainment, you put $50. And shopping, you put $50. So your total fund money, total fund money, $220. Your total living expenses, $2,058. And so that means you're spending basically everything that's coming with unemployment, and that is if you stuck to this budget. But I'm assuming since you don't track your expenses, we're spending more than that. And so, which is why you had to pull $2,000 out of your Robinhood account, because you're spending more money than you have and your money in your bank account's depleted. And so looking at your bank statement, this is from May 10th to June 7th, you started a statement with $302 in it. You had $3,061 deposited, but you spent $4,052 during this time period. So your balance ended at negative $688. And where did all this money go? So why are you're Zelling yourself money? Why do you have multiple bank accounts, or why do you Zelle yourself money? You Zelle yourself $500 on May 20th.
Probably that was from the $500 was probably from the unemployment. I was selling that to my MNT guy, because I have MNT and I have Bank America.
Okay, so you have multiple banks that you transfer money back and forth.
Yeah, I've had with us. Yeah.
So across all of them, you have about $20 across all of them right now.
Across all of them, I have most likely 20 or less, because I just paid my house rent, so everything is gone.
So you have a couple transfers in and stuff. What was Cash App for $369.95 on May 13th?
The 2 reasons why I usually use Cash App is either to send money back home for financial support or to invest, because Cash App you can do it externally. So I'm not sure what.
Okay, so 2 things. 1, why are you investing when you don't have a job? And 2, why are you investing when you have credit card debt?
I'm invested to make money. That's why I said I really want to learn how it works next month.
Okay, so let me explain this to you. Do you know what the average interest rate on credit card debt is?
Yep.
25 to 29%. And so that means on $1,000, if you have a $1,000 balance you carry for a year, you're paying 25% interest, which means basically you're paying about $250 a year in interest, give or take, depending on how the balance goes up or down.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
Do you know what the average return of the stock market is?
Yeah.
Typically 7 to 10%. So if you're investing on average with the stock market and you're earning 10%, you're still 15% lower than the interest on your credit card. And so if you put $1,000 in the stock market and you earn 10%, you now have $1,100. But instead of using $1,000 to pay your $1,000 credit card balance down, you just paid $250 in interest. So you paid $250 in interest, but you only earned $100 in growth on your investment. Does that make sense?
Yes, does make sense. But I just wanted to add that for investment, you did go for 7%, but there are certain investment that you have that's more than the gain is more than the amount I invested. So it's something which I really do want to learn how it works.
What are you investing in right now?
I just sold my
Okay, what were you investing in?
a lot of stocks. I've never showed the names, but a lot.
So a lot of single stocks.
One of the single stocks,
Like were you investing in single companies like Apple or Amazon or
not one company. Yeah, Apple, Amazon, all of them. But like a lot. I don't go for one name. I just go. Sometimes I just like wait, like an adult game. I'm like, God, very help me, and I just
were you investing in index funds or single stocks?
index. I do all this. I do it. Yeah.
You're doing index funds. So the average return of index funds is 7 to 10%.
Okay.
So if you're don't invest in single stocks. That's another thing. Well, I'm just going to go back to Tony Robbins. What he said is like, know the rules before you get in the game. And it's like a lot of people say they can beat the market. A lot of people say they're better than the average investor. They can beat the stock market. But guess what? 90 or 96% of people on Wall Street that are full-time investment bankers, investors, they underperform the stock market. And so if you're sitting here telling me you're the next Warren Buffett and you can beat the stock market on average when 90% of these people that get paid millions of dollars a year can't do it and they're managing billions of dollars, then I there's no way I believe you.
Well, but that's not what I said. I guess I was watching.
That's not what they're going to tell you, but I've known you for an hour and I can promise you that if you're going to be the next Warren Buffett, you're not going to be an actor full time. You're not going to be whatever. You're probably going to work for Warren Buffett.
So I'm not going to be an actor. I'm the next Warren Buffett.
Yeah, if you're truly the next Warren Buffett, you're not acting because the amount of time and energy it takes to be the next Warren Buffett is all you live and breathe. You can't live and breathe like Warren Buffett does financial statements and his knowledge and expertise and do a million other things. And so my point is, if 90% of actively paid financial advisors, financial experts can't beat the stock market, there's no reason you or I can do it. And guess what? I played that game. I lost 6 figures trying to be the next Warren Buffett.
Who's your mentor in terms of investment?
Who's my mentor? My mentor. So I've learned a lot myself. I've talked to my dad about it. He has friends. I've read books. Ramit Sethi is one that I love his books. And I'll send you a link to his website. Dave Ramsey. I'm all about index funds. I'm all about doing that because I've tried playing the single stock game. And guess what? I realized, hey, I'm not the next Warren Buffett. I'm not going to beat 90%. I'm not going to beat the stock market by doing that. I've tried that. I've lost. Why try? And so why not try to just have the same return of the stock market? And I can promise you I'll do better than majority of people because they're trying to play the game that I can beat the stock market by 5% or 10%. They might do that 1 or 2 years, but the odds of them doing that over 20 years is highly unlikely.
There's this guy, Wall Street Trapper on the Instagram. I don't know if you're familiar with this name.
Wall Street what?
Wall Street Trapper.
Trapper?
Yeah, Wall Street Trapper. Then there's another name on Dunlap. Anyone measure on YouTube. There's a whole channel. But in this way, I'll definitely limit it to Wall Street Trapper. I took one of his class and
Can I give you the biggest piece of advice? Don't watch his stuff. I mean, he's day trading. He's doing everything else in between, and he might make some money, but he makes more money selling you a course than he does probably in the market. He might make money in the market. He might be an Eller. I don't know. But with that name, with him selling courses on how to invest in the stock market, I mean, Warren Buffett says 95% of people should invest in index funds and set and forget it. And so I'll send you some resources. Some of my favorite ones are Ramit Sethi, Money with Katie, Personal Finance Club, and they all are about invest in index funds, set it and forget it, and you will be better off than 99% of people. And so this guy, I'm looking at it. I mean, he has beginner bundles. He's got the Wall Street trapping course, and the only thing you know about investing is invest in index funds and invest consistently and over long periods of time, and you will be better off than 99% of people. And so if he's sitting here selling you a hope and a dream, then guess what? He's making a lot of money selling you the hope and the dream off of his course, and you're not going to be the next Warren Buffett by taking his course. Do you understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
You've sucked the juice, and you're all in on his course, and you think you're going to learn how to invest better than 96% of people on Wall Street by taking this man's course.
No, I think.
Do you think a $27 course can truly make you a better investor than 96% of people working on Wall Street that have been doing it and are managing billions of dollars?
No, I don't. No, that's not how I look at it. I just look at it in the sense that how passionate he is and how knowledgeable he is. That's my driver force because
But he's selling you a hope and a dream of investing in index or investing in single stocks or doing options or trading, and you're going to lose money doing that.
Yeah, but his costs don't make investment looks as complicated as it is.
But you're not listening to me. You will 90% plus of day traders lose money doing that. 96% of people working on Wall Street underperform the stock market. You're not going to overperform the stock market. You're not going to overperform and day trade and option your way to becoming a millionaire. Do you know how many people in this world have become millionaires by option trading? A heck of a lot less than people have invested in their 401ks and index funds and their tax broker accounts and have just done that over long periods of time. There is possibility of doing it, but there's also a higher possibility of losing all your money and losing money. And so, I mean, we're already playing the risk game with credit cards. We're already playing the risk game with a car loan, and we're already playing the risk game not understanding our numbers with credit cards, with your car loans, all of that. So it's like you can play the risk game with options, but I can promise you there's a 90+% chance that you're going to lose money doing it.
I am yet to get into options, but
Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, anyway, I'll send you resources on investing. Please stop investing until you get a full-time job, until you pay off your credit card debt, until you pay off your car loan because you're paying 30% or 17% on your car loan. There's a lot of things you need to do before you start investing.
oh yeah, if they do send it, I'd love to read a lot.
I will. I'll send you books of my favorite people. Ramit Sethi has a great book. Personal Finance Club has great resources. There's a lot of resources I'll send you that you can just learn and look at. Same thing, you have Acorns on here, Robinhood stuff. Okay, so you pay for Rocket Money Premium. What do you use that for? Because it doesn't sound like you use the budgeting tool.
What does it do? It just tells me, I can easily cancel subscription on it.
So use the budgeting feature. If you're paying for that, use the budgeting tool on it. It's got a budgeting tool. I've never used it before, but it's got a budgeting tool and it can track your expenses. We have a lot of Robinhood stuff going out. I mean, during this month, you're just funneling money into Robinhood, Acorns, Disney Plus we got here.
I do know a secret. Doing all of that, I just kind of feel so rich when I do it. Just if my new change around the world, it just makes me feel like, oh my God.
But investing is just not good to do when you have so much credit card debt. Okay, what is SendWave for $179?
Yeah, that's an international transaction. Financial support.
Okay, so that's sending money back home. Okay. And then you're sending money to Candace Owens you're donating money for $7. I mean, it's like she doesn't need your money and you don't have a job, so why are we donating to people?
Okay, let me tell you why.
We don't even need to go down that rabbit hole and get political at all.
She lost that job and I lost my job, so I can get into a story and I just felt like, okay, so what? I didn't have financial crisis there.
Supporting, I don't care to get into politics, but supporting anyone that doesn't frankly need your money when you don't have a job, when you have all this credit card debt is just stupid. We got money, don't worry, got money going into Coinbase. Only $5, money going to Coinbase when you got credit card debt. So you're basically, when it comes to money management, you're doing all of the things wrong currently with carrying a balance your credit card, spending money on your credit card, investing when you have credit card debt, and not knowing your numbers. And my point with this is I'm just trying to point out things that you need to know these numbers. You need to understand why you're not investing when you have credit card debt, why you're not investing when you have an 18% car loan, why you don't invest in single stocks. And these are things that you said you're passionate and want to learn about money, but whatever you've been reading and talking about so far is you're being sold a dream of becoming rich overnight, and that's not how money works. They sell you a dream to sell you a course, but they make their money from the course. You don't have enough to even make your bills meet, but you said your goal is to learn about investing, you're reading about investing, you're following people on Instagram, but you're following all the wrong people. I have nothing in this if you take my advice or not.
No, of course, I'm going to take your advice. The thing is, you have to also look at it from the mindset point, because you can say you want to do this, but then if you don't have a prepared mind, you're not going to do it. So those people you've mentioned, they have been doing it they have a track record, and they don't just say you're going to reach. You see them doing it, you see the passion. So being in that milieu of people, it just always gets you on your toes. So that's one of the reasons why, I don't believe in them, because they do their research and it's not like they exclude.
They're selling you a dream, and they're selling you a dream that 99.9% of people they sell their course to do. Guess what? They make money selling you a course. I make zero money if you follow my advice and become a millionaire by investing in index funds. And guess what? If I'm selling you a course, then guess what? I'm going to sell you that dream and I'm going to make it the best thing in the world. But I have no skin in this game. I don't receive a dime if you become a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, or whatever. I just want what's best for you. And I'm frankly sick of people on social media that are selling these pipe dreams to you, these courses to you, and they don't have they don't have your best interest at heart at all.
They do. These are not the people I follow. The book I recommended to you, the book I did most of.
Okay, I'm not talking about Tony Robbins. I'm not talking about Tony.
Yeah, exactly. But how I got to know the book was because of them. I didn't just get it. They said he said, so it's something which, it's not like I am a reader. I read a lot. I get the information, but my eyes are like,
So that is great. If you got the book recommendation, Tony Robbins, again, I don't know Tony Robbins' book, whatever. But when I click on his course, and it is simple tactics for quick returns. That is selling you a pipe dream. There's no such thing as simple tactics for quick returns. It is talking about turning ordinary Americans into confident stock investors. Yes, you can turn someone into a confident stock investor by telling them to invest in index funds, but that's not what he's selling you. Where can you make your salary from the stock market? That is not realistic unless you've been investing for long periods of time and have a big portfolio. And so what my point is, he might point out good books, he might do that, but he is selling you a dream to sell you a course. He might be, for all I know, he might be a great, phenomenal trader, option trader, whatever, but he's selling you a dream that you can turn into him and you can make millions of dollars of money from his.
He's living his dream, and I get inspired by it. That's why that's how I'm looking. It's what
you can be inspired by people that are financially well off and sound, but if they're getting you to do stupid things that are odds are on your favor, they don't have your best interest at heart. But I'll send you stuff. You're not budging on that. So why waste my breath at this point on that? So I'll send you stuff, and I'll send you data, statistics, everything else in between. And then on the credit card, I mean, during this month, you still spent $200 on your credit card during this time period. Comcast, Wawa, Disney Mobile, China House in Philadelphia, some Ubers, Speedway. So on this card, it's the 0% interest rate until December. But if you pay the minimum payment on this $4,800 balance, it's going to take you 18 years to pay off this credit card. And you want to be paying this off when you're 50 years old?
Yo.
So just something to look at when it comes to credit cards. But it sounds like, from my point of view, we can agree to disagree. And if you want to agree to disagree, that's fine. I'll send you stuff. But I'm just trying to point out these are things that I know for a fact. I've tried some of these routes. They have not worked. I have friends and family that have tried different routes. They have not worked. And you're putting yourself in a very high-risk situation with some of the ways you operate. And so, few things we need to do. First is the job. You need to be hustling for a job. You need to be networking. You need to be finding a full-time job. The acting stuff, that needs to be under 20% of your time, because acting job, you've made $300 from an acting job, is your highest paying acting job. That's not going to pay the bills. You need over $2,000 a month to live. And have you ever gotten 7 or 8 acting jobs in a month before? Okay, so what's the most amount of money you've made in a month in acting before?
That's the only amount of. So
that's the only money you've ever made from acting?
Yeah, and it was a commercial stuff.
Okay, so how are you even considering that as a viable option to live?
No, because now I have got to. I think
take a step back and listen to yourself real quick, though, because I want you to pursue acting. I want you to have that as your passion. But if the max you've ever made is one job for $300, how can you talk yourself into reasonably, this is a financially viable thing I need to be spending a lot of my time on when I have under 2 months of unemployment left and I have $11,000 worth of credit card debt and I just went and financed a new car? Does that sound like it is putting you in a high likelihood chance of success of being able to help support your nieces and nephews to go to school, or your young child, or to pay your rent, or to pay your bills?
Solely depending on acting will be a foolish route to take. That is why I have the car. I intend to do Uber. So I intend to do Uber at night while the day will be for acting. But now that's how I look at it. If I don't have a job yet,
full-time jobs should come first.
But Uber, people do Uber for full-time.
Okay, well, I meant writing. I mean, you could go work for Uber right now and make over $2,000 a month, and I would say you should probably do that.
Yeah, you still make like 6,000. Like what?
Yes. So why you're not doing that right now, I don't know. I would be doing that because making $6,000 working your butt off for Uber so you can pay your rent, pay your bills, and pay down your credit card debt sounds a heck of a lot better than making $2,000 and your credit card bill continuing to go.
Yes, but I'm still waiting for my car tag to come. I haven't received it yet, so I still need to get everything like that set up at that Saturday.
Okay. So job is number one. You be networking, you find a full-time job. under 20% of the time towards acting and start Ubering so you can make more than $2,000 a month so you can pay your bills. Number 2, stop credit cards. I mean, credit cards are enabling you to do stupid things. Close them, cut them up, put them in the freezer. I don't care what you do with them. But if you continue to, every single dollar you put in those credit cards, it's going to be a lot harder to get out of debt. And you've got over $11,000 worth of credit card debt. And if you only use a debit card, guess what? You can't go and buy something for $200. You can't go buy shopping. You can't go shopping and go eat out. You can't do these things. You don't have money in your bank account. And if you're putting everything on a credit card, it just puts you further behind on average, you're probably paying over $3,000 a year on interest on that $11,000 balance as it is right now. And so you have to eliminate from that, continue to go up. It's only going to be harder to put yourself in a financial secure spot if you continue to rack up credit cards. And you've obviously utilizing credit cards incorrectly. You said at the beginning, you're not really sure your credit card numbers, don't know the interest rates, you don't know how much interest you're paying right now. And that is not a good way to use credit cards. If you don't know your number with credit cards, they will eat you alive. And that is why majority of Americans are in credit card debt. The majority of Americans don't understand their numbers. The majority of Americans also don't have over $1,000 in a bank account to pay for an emergency. And so if you want to be like the average American, don't know your numbers, use credit cards improperly or at all when you don't have a job, and just continue to raise the balance and don't pay it off, and you will be like the average American that has a lot of debt, and that's not what I want for you. I want you to be in a spot of wealth and to build wealth and to enjoy life and have financial peace there. Goes number 3, you need to know your numbers, whether it's your interest rate on your car loan, your interest rate on your credit cards. You need to know every single number when it comes to your finance. You need to know how much money you spend on food, on gas, on groceries every single month so that you can track your spending. People that are in the Olympics is applicable because it's going on right now. Everyone that's in the Olympics right now, I can promise you they didn't make it to the Olympics by not knowing their metrics, not knowing their training plans, what they eat, because they're very strenuous with their intake for protein, calories, carbs, fat, etc., how much sleep they get. Those athletes that are the top 0.1% of the world, they know their numbers in and out when it comes to their health, when it comes to their fitness. Same with Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett knows his numbers ins and out. And people don't just get out of debt by not looking at their numbers, not knowing what's happening. So if you want to get out of debt, if you want to build wealth, you need to understand your numbers yourself, because the same thing, like I quoted the Tony Robbins thing, is one of the things this website said was you need to know the rules before you get in the game. And right now you're in the game and you don't know any of the rules because you don't know any of your numbers.
No, I thought I know the rules until I met you, and it feels like from everything it said, it's like I don't know a lot.
And that's the thing, is you have to learn, you have to educate yourself, and you have to find the right resource and things to learn. And hopefully this is a good start for that continued education. 4, stop investing. You've pulled money from your Robinhood account to pay bills. You've been hopefully have you been putting money towards Acorns or Coinbase or any of those things the last month?
I think it was automatic. I probably did figure out.
Well, turn that off. You don't have a job. You don't have money to pay your bills. And 2, like we talked about, credit cards. You have credit card interest that's over 20% on a lot of your credit cards. It makes zero financial sense to invest when you have 25% interest rates on your credit cards. There's a reason credit card companies charge so high, because they need to make money. And you're not going to get 20%, 30% returns on average every single year in the stock market. You might get it one year, but then the next year might be down. The next year might be 5%. And trying to out-earn credit card debt is just a game that you're going to get burned on. 5, the last thing, you need to educate yourself. I will send you some of my favorite people to look at, resources. If people are selling you a hope and a dream of becoming a millionaire overnight, I can promise you, if it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true in the finance world.
No, it's not too good.
Hycien, it is too good to be true. These people you have.
He has been on Breakfast Club.
I don't care if he's been on Breakfast Club.
No, I'm just saying he has been on Platform House.
Tell me this. Does Warren Buffett sell a course called Wall Street Trappin'?
I don't think it does. I'm a Wall Street Trappin'.
Wall Street Trappin' is the name of his course. It is $497.
Yeah, I mean, that's this wall. Yeah.
And so he is making $500 selling you that dream off the bat.
He has a strategy that I guess is going to be like everyone soon.
It's not. You haven't listened to the data that I've told you. Over 90% of actively managed funds on Wall Street do not beat the stock market.
Right.
If 96 or 95, whatever the numbers, it's ridiculously high, cannot beat the stock market, why can this guy teach you how to do it?
Yes, in the video.
People on Wall Street have billions.
But they don't have costs. So for me, people, want to share.
No, he doesn't want to share. He wants to make money. I mean, I can promise you with this dude's following, he's made millions of dollars selling his course.
Yeah, most like it.
And he's using that money to invest.
But there are testimony too. When he goes live, people comes to his live. Like sometimes, I have just one of his courses. It was
You are too far in selling yourself on this course and defending these people.
no, I am then on learning the game. That's what I'm doing.
You're going to lose the game. I will send you Ramit Sethi, for example, is a phenomenal author, personal finance author. He has a podcast as well. He has a book called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Or George Campbell is another one that has a book called Breaking Free from Broke. Those have a lot of good snippets in there that can help educate yourself on this situation. I'm not going to sit here and continue to have this debate with you because this guy is making hand over fist off selling you and millions of other people courses, and 99% of people never make money from it. And if you do make money from year one, guess what? Your odds of being in the market for 20 years are slim to none. And I want you to take a different approach and at least listen to some of these resources and stuff I send you so you can educate yourself further. Get a different perspective. That is the issue with financial illiteracy in America, is there's a lot of people that sell you these courses and dreams on how to become millionaires, how to beat the stock market, how to do these different things that just financially are not in your best interest. Anyone can get testimonials. Anyone can have, if he's sold 1,000 or 10,000 courses, yeah, he can get a couple of testimonials because there's probably one or two people that have made money before. But get testimonials from the 990 or the 9,000 people that it has gone horribly wrong for. And that's a completely different side. But he's selling you a dream. He's selling you the motivation. He's selling the dream. And it sounds good. It does. I've bought courses like that before too. And guess what? It's too good to be true. So anyway, he might have some good snippets on it. I don't like people that sell a $500 course for investing and selling you a pipe dream. So it just does not make sense. So that's what you need to do. Hustling for jobs, educate about finances, stop using credit cards, and figure out what is your path forward from here. Because we have a long way to go. We got a lot of credit card debt. We got student loan, or we got credit cards. Part of that education system is how do you pay off the debt using debt snowball method for the credit cards and the car loan. Then once you pay off debt, you need to build an emergency fund. And I'll send you more resources on that too. You need to have all your debt paid off and you need to have an emergency fund built up before you start investing again, because you're not going to beat the interest rates on your debts right now. So do you have any questions on any of that for me?
So you did mention that there is something that I can pay those debt off. Is it a loan? Because I don't know. Is it a loan?
So no, to pay off your debts, you have to make additional payments on them. So if your minimum payment is $563 on your car loan, that means to pay it off early, you got to pay $700 a month or $800 a month. That's the only way to pay off your debt. You can't just get debt forgiven. The credit card companies want their money. The car company wants their money. They're going to take your car. And so no one's just going to forgive your money. The only way you can do it is to make more money so you can afford to live and live with bare expenses, and everything you have left over is going towards debt. There's no easy way out of debt besides working hard, spending less money than you make, and every dollar is going towards paying down the debt. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. What's your view on taking loan?
I hate taking loans. I think credit cards are horrible to use if you don't pay them off every single month. I think car loans are stupid because they make people spend more money on a car than they can afford. For example, you got talked into buying a $17,000 or $22,000 car because you had a loan on it. And they said, oh, it's only $10 more a month. Versus going to get a $12,000 car that you had cash for it. You're not going to go and buy a $20,000 car for it. And so loans allow you to spend money that you don't have. HELOCs, the only loan I'm for is a mortgage that is in the 25 to 30% ballpark of your net income. And besides that, I think debt and loans have been glamorized in America, and they put people in horrible financial situations. And that's why I started the show, because I've seen friends that have taken on huge loans. I've seen people do stupid financial things on the internet, in real life, and I'm just trying to help people learn and show, hey, this is not the only route you have to go. Like you can be different than the average American and set yourself up financially. I'm anti-loans except mortgages.
Okay.
In the rare instance, there's one rule that I do like about cars that I think is solid. If you are going to get a car loan, it's called the Money Guys rule. It's a 23-8 rule. And basically their rule is you put 20% down on the car. So if you're buying a $20,000 car, you put 20% down on it. It is over a 3-year term, so your car payment is going to be higher, and the car payment is no more than 8% of your gross income. And I don't think that's a horrible route to go. I don't love it. I would rather pay cash for cars. I've paid cash for my cars that I have, but I think that is probably the best car loan advice I've ever seen on the internet. So worst case, if someone's car broke down and they have absolutely no car, okay, go finance a $10,000 car on the 23.8 rule, and they'll have that paid off should have it paid off in under a year because it's a small car loan, but worst case, it's paid off in 3 years. Versus right now, yours is on 5-year term, and there's people even getting 8, 7, 8, 9-year car loans right now, which is just absurd. And you're gonna have that car payment for years and years and years, and it's horrible.
Yeah, this is a very bad. My car, it's a very bad deal. Yeah, bad deal.
So that's why I'm against car loans, because typically car dealerships do not give you good car loans. They do not give you a loan for them to lose money on. They give you a loan for them to make money.
Yeah.
And they get you to buy more car than you would have because of the car loan. So,
hey Billy, I have an update for you. This is just a follow-up after the conversation we had. I just want to say thank you very much for taking a deep dive into my bank statement and for coming up with the suggestions. You sent a lot of links, which I find that very useful. At the same time, I just want to let you know that you did mention that I should unsubscribe to those subscriptions that I have, because I had numerous subscriptions, which I've done that. And at the same time, I should be mindful of paying for trading classes and for quick scheme. I really do took that seriously, and I just want to tell you that you said I should apply for job, and I got an interview, and I have been offered. I got an offer letter. I am waiting for background to go through. I just want to say a very huge thank you again.